Everyone that comes into any business wants to make profit, and every catfish farmer intends to make profit at the end of the cycle. How do you know if you are making profits from the business or you are running into losses? If there is no proper record keeping in all the activities you do. Now we present to you the automated feed farm record sheet. Now in this sheet, it helps you do your recording. Now, are you tired of the manual recording where you get papers, you start recording what you feed, and at the end of the day, you don't know what you fed? Most farmers, they make the mistake whereby at the end of the day, they want to sell their product and they don't know how much was used to produce per kg of that fish. How do they know the selling price? How do they know if they are making profit? How do they know if the asking price of the market women are okay for them to sell at that point? So these are some of the issues or some of the challenges most catfish farmers are faced. Now you might be a farm owner, but you're not based in the location where your farm is. For example, we have a whole lot of farmers, they are based outside this country and their farms are in Nigeria. How do you checkmate the activities that goes on in your farm in terms of the feeding, the recording? Then how do you pinpoint when there is error in the farm? Now, this automated record keeping sheet helps you check all on the go. It can be done with your laptop, it can be done with the iPad or even your phone. So at the goal, you can be checking the record and you can also save the record in a cloud base. So at every point in time, you could make references to those records. Now we're going to be showing you the breakdown on how it works. It comes in 5 different templates or 5 different sheets. We have the sales tracker. Now the sales tracker helps you track your sales from the name of the person that bought the fish, the mobile number. Now also the invoice value. If it's 10,000 worth of fish the person buys, how did the person make the payment? Was it a cash transfer? Was it an online transfer? And the receipt number. So all these are on the go. Now the beautiful thing about it is that when you want to maybe sell again, you can just go to your sales tracker, look out for the customers that buy fishes in bulk, and you see their numbers there and you'll be able to call them. We also have the asset sheet. As you are buying stuff on the farm, you buy your machines, you buy your oven, you also keep a track of when you bought this product, how long has it stayed, and what is the present condition. So that's what the asset tracker does for you. Then we have also the expense sheet. Now the expense sheet shows you in a cycle, how much have I spent in raising this fish? You bought the feed, you paid salary for that month, and all the other expenses for fueling, for the running costs. At the end of the day, how do you calculate it to know, okay, this is how much was used to produce a kg of fish. This is my estimated profit. So all these are embedded in the sales tracker. Then we have the feeding sheet. Now the feeding sheet also gives you a clue on other parameters. For example, we have farmers that check their water. When they go to feed, they check the temperature, they check the pH, the ammonia, the nitrate. Now in this automated record sheet, once you check your temperature, you input the value. If it's within the acceptable range, it will see it will be okay. If it's outside it, it will show a red color showing you there is warning. And we also have notes on each of the parameters. For the pH range, what is the acceptable value? For nitrates, what are the acceptable value? For ammonia, what are the acceptable value? So all these are embedded in the automated record sheet. Then you can be anywhere in the world, and as your workers are filling in the sheet in the farm, you can also be monitoring the sheet online on your own device. Either you're using your laptop to monitor it, you can use your iPad. We have it installed on the iPad, we have it installed on our laptop, and we also have it on the phone. So you can monitor the record sheet from anywhere you go. So I'm going to be taking you through the 5 different record sheets, show you how it works, what it can accommodate, and also if you have some other stuff you want us to customize for you, well, you can also accommodate that in the automated record sheet. And you can restrict access. Who you want to get, who do you want to gain access to my sheet? Do I want to save it in the cloud? When I'm done with that month to start a new one, all that can also be done. So it's a robust automated record sheet that will help farmers to keep adequate record of what they do in the farm. So come with me as I show you how it works. So we are at the expense sheet, which is one of the 5 sheets that we have in the automated farm record. Now, for the first one we have here, so what we do first is to put down the name of the farm. So you say you have the A and B farms. So that's the name of the farm. Then we'll go to the month. What month are you working on? Now, the farm record accommodates for the 12 months calendar and has an extra 2 sheets to help you. So this, we are working on month, the January. Then the year is 2023. Then we'll move to the date you stock the fish. For example, you just bought fingerlings in January on the 1st of January 2023. So once you insert, now you look at this point, you see 129 days. Means from the day you stock to the present date. Because this date resonates with the present date we always have. So we have 129 days. Now, let's say you have 1,000 fishes that were stocked. It tells you need 67 bags of the 15 kg. You need 1 bag of the 5 kg. You need then the number of kg it would amount to that you'll be needing to raise those fishes. So that gives you a clue. If you have 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, it gives you the normal clue. Then we'll now go to the product. When you buy your feed, the expenses you are making in the farm. So for the running of the cycle. Now, what is the size of feed you are buying? Let's say you go for the 2 mm and you buy a product like, let's say, the Blue Crown. The Blue Crown, and you bought 2 bags at the rate of 12,000 each. It gives you 24,000. You went back to the place and you bought, let's say, 3 mm. You just pick down the size. Then you still bought top feed. You bought 3 bags of top feed at 11,500. It gives you the total amount. Let's say at this point you want to know, okay, this is what I've fed, and you just decide to sell. At that point, what should be your selling point? So this tells you spend 5 bags, you've spent 58,500. Now, what are the other expenses? Maybe that for that period you paid salaries for just 1 person, and salary was 20,000. So salary 20,000, not 2,000. Okay. And we have, let's say, fueling. We bought 10 liters of fuel, let's say for 2,000. So if you go all the way down, you see your total expenses that was done. So that means you spent 22,000 for other expenses. Now combining the feed and the other expenses gives you 80,500. Now, since we stock 1,000 fishes, your estimated survival is 850 plus or minus 15%. Then look at, you spend 95 naira to raise a kg of the fish. That's what you spent. So you want to sell. So how much do you think if you sell you make profit? Let's say you sell at 120 per kg for what you have stocked down. So that means it's 102,000. So your estimated profit will be 21,500. Then it's fair enough, you can decide to sell at that point. So that's what the expense sheet tells you. It gives you an idea how much you use to raise a kg of fish for your farm. So a lot of farmers have this challenge of knowing how much do I use to raise a kg. This sheet accommodates that for you. Then we'll move on. Like I said, you have the January to the December and also an extra 2 months for you to do all the monthly recording. Then we'll move to the next one, which is the feeding sheet. You can also call it the feeding tracker. Now, the feeding tracker gives us the daily feeding, the daily routine that goes on the farm. What happens at the farm daily? For example, you want to feed and you're feeding since we already have 2 mm, we put our 3 mm and you're feeding how many kg of feed you're feeding for that day? 2 kg. What's the quantity of fish? We have 1,000. The water temperature, we say it's 26 degrees. Now, once you click on temperature, something comes out and tell you that it should be around 26 to 32 degrees. So it tells you the temperature of your water. Then for the pH also, you see a write-up that tells you that the pH should be around 6.5 to 7.5. As you can see, it's showing green, meaning that it's in the acceptable level. Let's put 4, and it turns red. You see it's showing you red. That means it's below the acceptable value. So go back to 7.5, enter, and it shows you the green. So once you are within the range, it gives you the green. If you are outside the range, it shows you red. That means danger. Now, once you go through all the columns, you see that there's a write-up that shows you the range. For ideal ammonia, it should be 0, but this is the range. So it happens for the different ones we have. We have the carbonate hardness. It gives you the range. You have the GH, it also gives you the range. Also for nitrite, it gives you the range. For DO, it gives you the range. For nitrate also, it also tells you what to expect. So these are the deficits. How many fishes died through to mortality? You also record it here. So it's a daily routine for the farm. And all these are done in a way that you can checkmate it if you are not on the farm. As the workers are filling the sheet, you are checkmating it. Then you have it for this is month 1. You can have it for month 2. We have the month 3 up to 6 months. And we have it for 16 ponds. So if you have 16 different ponds, you can be tracking the different 16 ponds with the record sheet, and you see the process. You can also know, okay, why is a certain pond having a higher pH than another pond, and you know how to treat that. So we'll move to the third one, which is called the sales tracker. The sales tracker. Now we are still working with the A and B farms, and you want to track your sales. Am I making money? Who are my customers? Are they paying me? How do I track them? In times to sell again, how can I locate them? So maybe you have Madam B as your first client that came to maybe buy a product or a farm. You say, what are the client's contact? You will also input the client's contact. So it's easy to reach out to the client when you want to sell again to him or her. Then also, what is the invoice date? Which date did you sell the fishes? You also have to include it. All these records helps you to be efficient in the farm. Now we look at the invoice value. Let's say the person bought fish of 5,000. Now, what is the invoice number? You can say it's 23, just to keep a record of what is going on. Then, and we also have what we call the amount paid. Maybe the person paid 3,000. That means there's still a balance of 2,000. It tells you, okay, Madam B is still owing us 2,000. The weighted kg might be 4 kg. The fish unit, how many pieces? Let's say 19 pieces. Remark. In the place of remark, you could put, they are still owing me. So you just a note there. Balance pending, to know that you have a pending balance. Now, what is the mode of payment? Was it an online or a cash payment? So you can also include that. Then you also include the date. So this is for the sales tracker, and you can use it to track all your sales for efficiency. Then we also have the fourth one, which is the credit tracker. Now, most times, some of the farmers are open to credit facilities whereby some suppliers supply you products, and after a while, you could maybe pay up. For example, you have Mr. James that did a supply for you, and the phone number of Mr. James, you can include the phone number of Mr. James. What are the items you supply? Say feed, and what the supply date? You include the date it was supplied. Let's say in January. You can decide to put the the specific date of being supplied to keep the record. The invoice number, you can call it maybe 12. The invoice value means, okay, what is the worth of the supply? And we can say, okay, supply of feed worth of 50,000. Amount paid, how much do we pay? Let's say we paid 20,000 and we are owing a balance of 30,000. Then remark, you can also say balance pending. Then mode of payment, how did you make the payment? You can say, okay, it's online. Then date of payment, maybe once you complete a payment, you can also include the date of payment. So that's for the credit tracker, for those who maybe have credit facilities and you want to be efficient in keeping to that. Now, the last one we have is the asset tracker. Now, this helps you to track the assets you have in your farm. Let's say you bought a goose from the farm let's say in January. Then, let's say you bought an oven in the farm. Who supplied it? Maybe Mr. P. Supplied number, you put the phone number of the supplier. Then the receipt number, you include receipt number. The receipt value, let's say 20,000. Amount paid, you paid in full. So balance is 0, means you're not owing them. Then you put the remark, okay, payments completed. Complete payments. Now, all this helps you to be efficient in your farm. So if you want to also set this up for you in your farm to be able to track your assets, your credit, your sales, your expense, and also the feeding and also other water parameters, we can set it up for you. Check on the description button. We have a link to make payment, and that is set up for you and for your farm. So thank you.